but them don't see the struggles hidden way behind. Holding on to faith when the road get rough and steep, sacrificing plenty while the whole world asleep. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice. Long days, cold nights just to make things right. Them see the smile on we face, but them don't know the ache. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice we make. Oh, far from home, still we carry the weight. Oh, every blessing come a little too late. Them see the life we build, but not the chances we take. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice we make. Them say we got it easy, living in a better place, but them ain't feel the pressure that we face from day to day. 2 jobs, little sleep, just to keep the dream alive. Pushing through the hardships, always trying to survive. Every suitcase got a story, every journey got pain. Every loss and every lesson leave a mark that remain. Still we keep on moving, keeping family first place. With determination and a prayer, we run the race. They say we live abroad, but don't know the sacrifice. Long days, cold nights, just to make things right. Them see the smile on we face, but them don't know the ache. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice we make. Oh, far from home, still we carry the weight. Oh, every blessing come a little too late. Them see the life we build, but not the chances we take. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice we make. Them don't know, them don't know the tears we hide, the roads we take. Them don't know, them don't know the sacrifice we make.
All right. The sacrifice we make. Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to our conversation this afternoon here. I do have my 2 guests who's joining me. But before I get into introducing my guests and get into this important conversation, I'm so happy that we're doing this conversation today because it is needed. But before I go further into that, let me tell you a little bit about the Know Your Worth Sip and Paint is coming up on June 27th, 2026 at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. You guys are going to see me having it on my Facebook page. You can be able to check the flyer and get all information. Our tickets are only $50. And also you want to review about the Know Your Worth retreat, winter retreat that's coming up in October 23rd to the 25th. All right. So we want to encourage you to be a part of what we do as we continue to get into our community and support our community. Before I go to my guests, let me ask you guys to please share this live. Share it to a friend. Share it to those if you have relatives in the diaspora. The diaspora is speaking here today, and we need to have as much persons to come in and be a part of this conversation that we're having. We're also live on the Gigi Show page. We're live on my personal page, along on YouTube, and of course, Idris, she's going to share it on her page also. So just go right ahead, share, and my brother Ken also. I'm going to share it to you so that you can able to share it to your persons. Listen, let me without any further ado, let me introduce my guests for this afternoon as we get into this conversation. First, I'm going to go, Ken, my brother, we got to go to the ladies first. Ladies first. I'm going to go to Miss Idris Grosvenor as she introduces herself and tell us a little bit about who she is. And then I'm going to go to Ken.
Man, like Chidi, I think everybody know me. But anyways, I'm Idris. I am the co-host of the Gigi Show. I'm a mother. I'm a hard worker, very, very hard worker. I I love what I do. You know, I'm one of the nicest people. Some people may choose to say otherwise, but I believe that I am one of the nicest persons you will ever come into contact with. And I'm being very honest and very serious when I say that. I may have a mean mug, but I don't have a mean heart, you know. And I may have a slick mouth, but behind all of that slick talk is a very kind-hearted person. You know, I'm very loving, very giving, very open. Oh, I think I'm one of the most transparent persons you'll ever come into contact with. Even at work, sometimes they say, Idris, you're just too honest. But I don't think you can be too honest. I
That's
believe
great.
that honesty is speaks of integrity, you know. So I'm a very open, transparent, and honest person. So that's
Thank
a
you so
little bit about
much.
me.
Thank you, Idris, of course. Um, and of course, as she said, she's one of our panelists on the GD show. And I want to encourage you guys to share. More and more persons are indeed coming in. Share the live, share the live. If you want, you can able to go and look at us on YouTube also. You can able to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. I want to go to my brother Ken. Listen, let me tell you a little bit. This is my brother from another mother. There's a brother that I've never had, and I want to really introduce him to you guys. Ken, welcome, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. How are you doing? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, good. I want to say thank you very much for having me tonight. Um, I'm not hearing too good from you guys, but nevertheless, let me know. Raise your hand up if you could hear me.
Loud and clear.
Um, can you hear me, guys? I am not
We're
hearing you
hearing you
guys,
loud
so
and
I don't
clear.
know. Okay, good, good. So, good evening again. I'm Ken Rampersad from the Ken Rampersad Show. I am originally from Guyana. I have left Guyana for a long time, over 30 years. I've left Guyana. I've been a nurse all these years. And I tell people, despite I've left Guyana over 30 years, if you cut my heart, you can see the whole map of Guyana. I'm also a humanitarian, domestic
Yes.
violence advocate, and suicidal prevention advocate. I also send a lot of Pampers and whatever it is to Guyana to help the poor, the underserved. But most of my mission actually is that I serve the poor and the underserved, especially in our beloved Guyana. And that's my goal. I am not fancy by the rich and the famous and those who doing well in life. My goal is to take care and to watch out for those who cannot do it for themselves.
Absolutely.
And thank you for
That is
having me on, Gigi and Idris.
You are welcome. It's amazing to come across persons like those. When I looked at Ken, I knew him from nowhere, but someone would have called him out on Facebook. And when I listened to him and I went in and I read some things about him, he's a very good guy. So it's good to have, and I always would say, choose decent people and choose wisely. And this is one of the person that I would have chosen. Two of the persons are here on this panel today. I've chosen that are very close to me. So once again, let's get into this conversation. But before we get into the conversation, I want to encourage persons, more and more persons, to share the live as much as possible, so that persons can be able to hear what we know this conversation we're getting into this afternoon, because it must be held. We should have this kind of conversation. So what are we talking about today? This is the top. This is what the topic. They say we live abroad and have it like that, but they don't know the sacrifice we make. Now, that heading says a lot. And I'm going to go to Idris. So tell me a little bit, what do you think about how people feel about they say we live abroad or we have it like that? And there are lots more other stuff we're going to get into. There's some things that I heard in the media as of recent, about the way foreigners dress, but we're going to get into that. But Idris, and then I'm going to go to Ken in that same question. They say we live abroad and we got it like that. What do you think that, where is that coming from? What do you think, what do you mean by that? No, we have it
Did
like
you
that.
mean I want to know what I mean by though?
All right then. So
Me know what I mean by though. What we got? Listen. I work hard. I work very hard. Like I said, I'm transparent. I have a chronic illness, one that puts me in the hospital sometimes for months. And when I come out of the hospital, I recuperate sometimes for a little 2 weeks or thereabout, and then I'm back on my job. My job is not the hardest job, but neither is it the easiest job because I deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
I have 146 people that I deal with on a daily basis. There are some days when I would see 100 out of the 146, and then the next day I might see 10 out of the 146. But think about 146 different personalities that I come into contact with every day. Think about what toll it takes on my mental health. Having sometimes to sit through abuse, having sometimes to just sit there and take everything that comes at you because I am the professional. So it's not for me to curse them back when they curse me, or if they curse me half an hour ago, they come to my office, I can say, I ain't helping you because you cursed me. I'm the professional, so I have to do my job. Now, there are days when I go to work and the snow there all the way to my knees. My son got to dig a path out for me to go. So what we got like though? America is hard. I
Yes.
mean, people may look and see, oh, she's dressed nice and she's this and she's always traveling because I work hard. I work hard. So I'm not just gonna work and work and work and don't do anything. I work hard. So I believe that I should enjoy the fruits of my labor. So yes, I travel. But I don't travel on, I don't own a credit card. Disclaimer here. I do not own a credit card. When y'all see me going places, I go in on cash that I work for. I don't have handouts. In America, we don't get handouts. I can't get food stamp. People is get food stamp. They say I make too much money, so I can't get food stamp. But I want food stamps because it's hard. So when people say these things, oh, they're living in America and they got it good. Define good for me.
That's right.
Define good for me. Because if rain fall too hard in some places, people say, me going to work because it rain. I don't have that luxury. In America, you lose your job at the drop of a hat. I don't have that luxury to say I'm not going to go to work because it's snowing, or because it's sleeting, or because it's hailing. I don't have that luxury. So I don't understand the terminology, we got it good in America. I honestly don't understand it because that would depend on the person's definition of good. So
All right. Thank you so much, Idris. But before I go to Ken, I want to acknowledge the persons who are on the live. I'm seeing Hazel. Hi, Hazel. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Kendra. I'm seeing Michael Basia. Hi, Pastor Michael. I'm seeing Yolande, Cassandra Lois, Dion Allen. Guys, good afternoon. Thank you for joining. I'm seeing Sherry, Patricia McFarlane. Guys, thank you. Shivani Manning. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Please share this live. Listen, all of you are most of the persons who are here on this live lives here in the diaspora. And we all face that abuse at times from our relatives in Guyana or wherever they are. Now I want to go to Ken. Ken, what do they mean by they say they live abroad? They say we live abroad and we have it like that. What in your own words, what do they mean by that? Are you hearing me? Ken, are you hearing me? I don't
Thank you
think
very
he's
much for
hearing.
having me. And are ignorant of what's going on in the United States. Yes, I
Okay,
can hear you.
good. So
Yes.
what do they mean by that in your own words?
In my words, is that they're ignorant and they don't know what's going on here in the United States. Um, there's so much sacrifices we would have to make here in the United States, and not for us alone, especially like I share with you today. it's that we came here and we made a lot of sacrifices for our family, our friends in Guyana. And like I tell you today, like I told you today, we left Guyana and came here. Some of us went through a horrible time where we didn't have nowhere to go. Some people promised us that they're gonna pick us up at the airport. They didn't do that. We were left there 2 or 3 days, and somebody had to come pick us up. Some of us didn't have food to eat, right? Some of us left Guyana and came here, and while we were here, we didn't get to go back when someone died. And that is some horrible experience that we had to experience and to live with throughout our lives. You know what I mean? Like I said, those who are ignorant, they don't know exactly what they're talking about. And I would love for them to come and get a taste what life is like in the United States or in North America. It is not easy. And Gigi, I got to tell you, I want to blame some of us here in the United States too, and North America, to say that we go over there, and when we go, we spend lavish, we send plenty barrel, we take plenty suitcase, and like I always say, if you give Guyanese 10 suitcase, they will carry all 10 for the family. But it's sad. It's sad because now Guyana getting little oil, people forget what we were doing for them all these years, and now they want to turn back. And guess what? It didn't start too long. We just started to get oil in Guyana, if you know what I mean. And now they start like this. It's a sad story. But I would like to say that I would love for them to come and experience what North America is all about. It's work and work and work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's it. Work and work and work, And one of the other things is that, especially when it snows here, they don't want to hear if it snows or you got to get up and get out there. Every day we make sure the day before you check to see what the weather is like, because you have to dress appropriately. When that snow comes down, you gotta, it's not an easy road. And I have to agree with you early on about some of us here. We need to blame some of us here, because some of us give them that impression, and we send the barriers and we leave ourselves without. We don't have, we don't, but some of us don't understand. A lot of people don't understand the sacrifice that we make over here just to make ends meet. 2 jobs, 3 jobs, so it's not easy. But as we continue the conversation, I want to tell a little bit about myself also as we go along the way. But I know, Ken, you had a very rough patch when you first came. When you came to the States, and what year was that? And what were those circumstances that you faced when you came here?
Oh God, my story it's horrible, but I'm going to share it anyway. So I came to the United States in January of 1990. And when I came here, things were rough. I did not work. I went to Hartford City, Connecticut. And the truth is that I wasn't working for like 6 months. And then I moved to New York because I know that New York is the melting pot. Here is where you get the job and everything. But after like a week or 2, I got put out. I didn't have nowhere to go. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? Who am I going to go? I didn't have a brother. I didn't have no relative actually here in New York. And so my aunt, in fact, I went to a far off cousin who I've never met before. I went by her house and she kept me for like 2 nights. And she said, I cannot keep you no more. And after that, a friend was staying by his brother. And then he said, you know what, come stay by me, but you can't stay more than 2 nights. And so I went by his house and I spent 2 nights. And then I had the worry again, where would I spend the rest of my life? And I remember one of my friend mother heard that I was struggling. And they picked me up and I went by their house. And it was very embarrassing. I wish that day, if that earth could have burst open, Gigi, I would have fallen the insults that
Mm.
someone said to me in the Guyana talk, right? Where you pick up this lagu bagu from? First, I'm saying this like this on the radio. Where you pick up this lagu bagu from?
Oh,
This mother SSS and so on, and bring him to my house. And I started to cry, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. I'm a young nurse. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I came to the United States with my mother. I really didn't want to come, but my mother actually said, "By you're the big son, and you need to go to the States and to try to open the door for your brothers and sisters." And that's what I did. But you know, one of the things is, Gigi, and I know that we on the same level because you believe in God, and that I trust in God. But one day I stand up at 170th Street and 93rd Avenue, and I said, God, why are you allowing these things to happen to me? I would sometimes have no food to eat. And while I'm working, I'm like, if I'm hungry, I got to go to the bathroom and drink some water, you know, to fill me up until I get my first paycheck. And then I start to buy buy breakfast. I used to buy a bagel for 50 cents, a coffee for 50 cents. And then for lunch, because I want to save, a pizza for $1, right? And then you buy a soda for like 50 cents or whatever it is. So that's how I did. I managed. And also, I had to pay back some money, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So things was hard. And Gigi, my mother, I heard my mother was very sick and she had an aneurysm. And after a year I came, I could not travel. And the nurse in me, it bothered me because I'm like, oh my God, how I can't go home. No, I can't go home, but I can't come back.
Right.
And I can't get to take care of mommy. So 6 days after, yeah. And that's one of the things that people don't realize what we go through. And then after 1 year, after that, 6 days after mommy died, and it was hard because I was mommy's big son. I was her only son for a long time. And she was the one who wanted me to come to America. When she died, I didn't have nobody to come and sit with me and hold me and say, I'm so sorry. I had none of that. On that funeral day, yeah, on that funeral day, right, I bathed early, took a shower, put on my a white shirt and a black pants, and I was in the attic, and I lit a candle, and I was praying for mommy that God would bless her soul and God would watch over her. And I was alone in that place, and I love my mother. My mother is everything. I'm everything of my mother, and that's why I can't forget mommy. You know, so it's a sad story, and people don't understand the kind of things that we've experienced when we come to this country that called the United States of America. And one of the things I want to say to Gigi is that, and we have shared the story in Guyana where like money fall on from tree, because we send our money there, we take care of our family, and yet sometimes we don't take care of our own self. So we give the people, our family there, the impression that, listen, things good in America, if you know what I mean. But continue, ask your question. I don't want to take over the whole show. Do your thing.
No, it's here. You know, we want to hear as much as possible from you. But Idris, tell me a little bit about what you thought of when you first came here. What was it like for you? And how long since you've been living in the U.S.? Idris.
Ask me again, Gigi.
Okay. No, I was saying, what was it like when you first came to the U.S. and, you know, what was it like when you first came? What were there changes, or what was it like? How long since you've been living in the States? You tell us a little bit about that.
I got a culture shock.
Mm.
I really got a culture shock because what I expected definitely was not what I found, not what I saw. I didn't have a really hard time when I came to the US. I came to my mom Um, she had a home and everything, and I didn't have a hard life. I came and I went straight into school, and I studied for a number of years before I even worked. So I mean, I have good family. I got good cousins, who really supported me and everything. So I don't have the story that everybody else have when they come to America, or they go through this and they go through that. I didn't have that. My mother was prepared for me, you know. I came here with 4 children. Well, one was already here, but I brought 3 children with me. So, and I lived at my mother with 4 children, and I eventually transitioned to my own spot in the same house, but I moved upstairs, and my mom kept on, you know. But I really didn't have the struggles that a lot of people talk about when they come to America. But I had my own struggles acclimatizing. The culture was completely different. Those were my struggle. The cultural shock. You know, um, the way you come out and you tell the neighbor good morning, the neighbor look at you like, who
Yeah,
she talking
yeah.
to? You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I had a culture shock. But basically I didn't really have I always tell people I was one of the fortunate ones. I never learned to take public transportation, and to this day Gigi, all of them is be laughing at me
Yeah,
because I still don't know to take public transportation. Because fortunately for me, a few months after I came here, I got a car. you know Somebody bought me a car, and I started driving shortly after I got here. So I never really had the struggles that everybody talk about.
yeah.
But I've heard the stories, I've seen other people's situation, and I know what that's like. What my struggle was is that, like I said, I went to school and I had nobody to help me take care of my kids because my mom worked at that time and she did live in jobs. So those were my struggles, back in Guyana, somebody there,
Yeah.
I didn't have that. The having someone there to help me with my kids. I had to depend on strangers to help me with my children while I studied, but yeah, I really didn't have the rough life. I thank God for that. I was very fortunate.
Right, right. Guy, that's good. So I'm gonna go to my next question, but before I go, I noticed there's a comment here from Hazel Nestor. She said, "I guess my sister and I were fortunate. We came to our parents in Canada as teenagers. May 23rd, 2026 was 56 years since my sister and I are in Canada. Good job. Kudos to your parents. So, but some persons are not that fortunate. My situation is a whole different situation. So coming here to the US is it's like you're coming to somewhere where you're just walking blindly. You don't even know. You have to feel your way out. You have to put on your big girl panty, and you have to grease your heels because nobody not doing it for you. Now somebody, when you first come, people gonna say, you know what, here's a $50 1 week. Probably you may get a $20 the next week, but you might as well go get what you have to get. You got to get a job. And I was living in Guyana. I had my business, running my business, doing my salon, living the life, driving your car, doing your thing. And when I came here, I had to go and work in kitchen. Like what? I never thought, but at the end of the day, the bills have to be paid because nobody's not going to pay your bills for you. So this is the thing that a lot of people, especially back home, because and as I said before, a lot of us just give them the wrong impression about living in America. It's good, and a lot of them look at what's going on TV, the beautiful things, and the big houses, but you don't know it's not easy to get those houses. You got to work hard. You got to save. You got a good credit. You got to be disciplined. You can't be going out every weekend and partying and wearing the most expensive clothes in order for you to succeed in this country. It takes sacrifice. So I'm going to go to my next question. What is one of the biggest misconceptions people back home have about living abroad? What is the one biggest misconceptions people have about people living abroad?
Everything cheap.
Everything cheap. That's my answer to everything cheap.
They believe that we pay $1 for stuff and we pay $5 for stuff and I mean, this is because people who are living here give them that impression that everything is cheap. Everything is cheap. No, it ain't cheap at all. I just tell people me rent is $1,500. $1,500 a month. So when y'all ask me for send $100 and I say I can't send it now, you gotta give me some time. And I always tell people I'm always willing to help, but you have to give me time. You can't call me now for now. You understand? Because I have bills, and here in America, the landlord don't got no sympathy for you if you ain't got the rent. The car, no people can come and take back their car. So we don't have like how you could in Guyana tell like that, buddy, I got you. Give me 2 weeks. No, honey, rent is paid between the 1st and the 5th of every month. After the 5th of the month, you're late and you get a late fee. And if 2 months pass and you don't pay your rent, you're in the court, you're evicted. So life in America is I don't want to say it's hard, but you have to work to be comfortable.
And you have to be disciplined.
You have to work. It doesn't come as easy as everybody think, and nothing is cheap in America. Nothing is cheap in America. $1 is $1 in every man's country. $1 is $1 in every man's country. And when I go to Guyana, I say things are expensive because when I look at the price of things, it's $1 for $1. You understand? And for me, some of the things that they take from America to sell in Guyana, they're exploiting the people, But $1 is $1 in every man's country. And if I pay $1 for something, it ain't cheap for me, it's $1. So everybody think that, everything cheap and everybody living in these nice, fancy neighborhoods. And that's not the truth. It's not the truth. People come to Guyana and tell you lies, sell you dreams. A lot of times people come here for the first time and they're like, oh my God, this is where you speak boasting. I don't boast about America. America has afforded me some opportunities that I probably would not have gotten in Guyana. I was able to study, get my bachelor's, get my master's, do all of that here in America, right? And it afforded me those things. But don't talk about the student loan that I have sitting on my credit now. I still have to pay those things, but it gave me an opportunity to get it and pay for it later. But America is a big misconception. Big misconception. It's a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong.
It is.
I ain't saying it. No. If you get an opportunity. But when you come here, you have to decide that you will work to achieve what you want. Nothing is going to fall into your lap. It's a beautiful place. Don't let nobody tell you don't come to America because no. If you get an opportunity to come. Because like I said, for me, I love books. And I was able to achieve, my dreams of studying and achieving this degree and that degree. But it took dedication, it took discipline, it took sacrifice. All right? So.
Thank you so much, Idris. I'm seeing so many persons in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming in and engaging with us. I'm seeing Kendra. I always say I live like a big thing and didn't owe a soul. That's it. Maxine is saying I always calculate and converting. Exactly. That's what I do a lot too. Carmen Thomas, thanks for joining. Michelle Alfonso. Michelle said she too. Dion, totally agree. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Continue to share as we continue to have this conversation. Ken, what's the one biggest misconception people back home have about living abroad? Are you? Yeah. Go ahead. I think you're muted. I think you're muted. I think you're muted. All right. In the meanwhile, Ken?
Yeah, you could hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Yes, yes.
One of the misconception is that people have is that things are cheap and you could pick them up on the street. But I want to say that one thing that I agree with Idris. What I like about the United States, despite we come here with nothing, some of us come with $20, $30, or some with no money. What I love about America, and don't get me wrong, is that it gives us the opportunity to do all that we want to do in our lifetime. I mean, if we were in Guyana, I would probably never be the same guy or get the same respect I get or in the United States. Like here, you come, you work hard, you're dedicated, and you could live the American dream. But the key is you have to be able to, like they said, you have to be disciplined and work hard and get your goal. Or else, if you follow, you don't have no vision, you end up on the street with nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with because my one thing is sacrifice. And I think in life it should be a balance. If you do one thing that is too much, you put yourself into trouble. If you spend, you work, you spend. I know of persons that worked all their lives and they have not acquired absolutely nothing. I'm talking about living years, over 30 years in America, and have not acquired nothing. I'm telling you, absolutely nothing. Zero. And this, they and as they get older, things were getting tougher, and then they were trying to, like trying to scam, but it's too late. It's too late. And I think that persons should take into consideration building while you're young. Save, put in a corner. One of the things I don't do, I'm not a spender. I make sure that I save and I push in the corner and save and save and save. And we all, for me, as soon as somebody asks, I'm ready to give. And that's something I had to be disciplined of. And for me, of course, I know I'm one person. Give the people back home that as soon as they ask, you think you can able to send them a $50 or $100. But it's not always like that. You may have it then, but there's another time they may ask and you don't have it. All right. So, and the next question, how has living abroad affected your relationship with family and friends back home? Ken, I'm going to ask you that question in the meanwhile. Idris, I'm going to answer her question.
You know what's sad is that people think that when we over here, when we go back to Ghana, they don't know how busy the couple of days that we go there for. That we are very busy, and sometimes people think that we think we are better than them in Ghana, but we are not better than anybody else. We are just normal, just like everybody else in Ghana. But I don't like the idea where people, if they call you and they invite you and you said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, man, I can't come, I'm so busy," they think you feel better than them and you're
Yes.
playing big, that you're playing big. But the truth of the matter is, it's not that you're playing big, is that, oh my God, so many things you have to do in such a short time. And guess what? You're tired. Like, I wish I would get to see everybody. But at the end, I couldn't have seen everybody. I wish, Gigi, I could give everybody money when I go to Ghana. But the truth of the matter is, and sometimes as we're talking, people don't realize that some people don't have, but they go and take their credit card and they buy and take it to Guyana. And when they come back, they have to pay that bill. And it's not easy. And I see Kendra was talking about a lot of people work and live paycheck to paycheck in the United States. It's not easy
Yes.
because you know what? When you don't have that education, you doesn't make that you don't make that large sum of money. When you some people are very lucky that they have no education but they get a good job. But most people work $2,000 a month or $2,500 a month. And guess what? At the end of the month, they have to pay like $1,200 a month rent, $1,500 a month rent. Then if you have a car, you have to buy gas, which is like $400 a month gas. You got to pay light bill. You got to pay gas bill. You got to pay
Insurance.
credit card bill.
Don't forget the car insurance.
all these
If you
kinds of things. So
if you credit
Car
card, you got
insurance.
a car note.
yes, and some people, like I said, live paycheck to paycheck, and it's very tough. I have been very lucky that, and you know, one of the things that really bothers me here is that, like, I was at my other job for 23 years, and they call me one week and tell me the other week they're going to close down without no incentive, no gratuity pay.
Wow.
So, and I was just let go just like that. So that's why it's important. You have to save for the rainy days because life in America is unpredictable.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
It's unpredictable.
Idris, that question is to you too.
What was the question?
You finished, Ken?
Yes, she could go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So how has living abroad affected your relationship with your family?
Well, to be honest, I ain't got a lot of family back home.
I know
Most
that.
of my
That's
family are
yeah.
here in the United States. All my siblings are here. I really don't have a lot of family back home. I got a couple of nephews and nieces and stuff, and a few friends. And I have maintained a very good relationship with my few friends because I tell everybody I'm the most friendly person. So I ain't got a lot of friends. So the few that I have that are still in Guyana, I have maintained a very good relationship with them. We stay in touch, we stay in contact, So I guess my story is a little bit different because, like I say, fortunately for me, most of my relatives are here. My struggle is my relatives here that I can't seem to keep in touch with, not the ones back in Guyana. And when I go to Guyana, I make time. I tell people all the time, I don't come to Guyana to impress nobody. I come to Guyana to spend time with a couple friends and family that I have home. Wherever money I come is not to go outside and party and drink and sport. Is that I asking them is where you want we cook, we going in the market and we shopping and we cooking because I love to cook, whether in Guyana, wherever I go, I'm in a kitchen. So I'm always cooking and I spend time with my family. My time when I don't ever go to Guyana for long because, like I say, I have a chronic illness. So I try not to stay too far from the United States. I go to Guyana for weekends. I leave the Wednesday, I do the Thursday, the Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday I'm back in the United States. My trips to Guyana are always very, very short, for health reasons, of course, but I whenever I go to Guyana, man, I go to Guyana and them couple days I spend, I can't see nobody outside of my family. I sorry. And my couple of friends that I have, I always let them know when I'm coming. I don't hide from them. I tell them, I say, girl, listen, I'm coming, and this is where I'm staying. So I'm gonna be there from this day. You could come any day you want, whenever you want. I don't have time for other people per se. It's just the couple that I got.
Okay. Thank you, Idris. I'm seeing Cody. Alan is saying, let me bring up back his comment. He made a comment that I believe Guyanese back home look at the exchange rate. It's like they work for 60,000 a month, and we make more than that a week. But a beer in Guyana is $4, but have.
Yeah, it's four. He said it's $400.
It's $2. Basically,
It's
it's like the same thing.
It's the same thing.
All right. So that's we've seen
It's
some.
the same thing.
Let me go through some comments. Yeah, it is. And of course,
if it's $400 and it's $2, it's the same price you pay for a beer.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just that they may work $60,000 a month, right? Well, we work for more
Yeah,
here.
but
But
Gigi, their
like
bills
like
are
Idris
not
was
the
saying
bills that
earlier,
we have. Most people in Guyana don't even pay rent. Most of them live in a home that their grandparents
true,
they own, and then their mother
true.
own, and then they grow up and they live there, and then the children come and the children live there, and it's a
Yep.
generational property. They don't pay rent. None of them don't pay like bill.
You know,
If you understand what I'm saying, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I'm being degrading, but it's the truth. You understand?
it is
While
the
they
truth.
can go to shop and they can tell neighbor Jean just trust my little rice, trust we don't have that luxury here. And I am not knocking that. I'm saying that's a great thing. You know, that they can never go hungry because they always have that option where they shop. People that could go and trust and bill a bill and say, I can pay you in 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks they might not get up, but they can go and pay something, and the shop lady can still trust them again. You know, we ain't got an option, enemy. Don't go in shop, I get my money, see the police don't walk out in some silver bracelets. In some happy silver
Exactly,
bracelets. And like I
exactly.
said, me, I would love to get food stamps. But the government look at what I make and they say I make a lot of money. I make too much money. It look good on paper. It looks very nice on paper, but in reality, like Ken was saying, in reality, that money is nothing when you compare the bills that you have to pay. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta determine. Like me, my savings come directly out of my paycheck. It don't even come nowhere near me hand. Cause if it come near me hand, it ain't a me the bank. So I have it set up that it comes out directly out of my pay and it goes into my savings. My savings is a credit union, and I don't ever gotta go inside of there for they get your money for this. I don't go there because I don't able to stress. That's how I get to save. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's not like how they're seeing it. They might be working for the 60,000, and out of the 60,000, they could keep 50 in the pocket, and 10 don't go to the phone bill or the cell phone bill. That is the only bill they got for pay. We ain't got the luxury here.
I agree. I agree, Idris. I think
Don't
about
have that. Don't have that
when you gotta
luxury.
pay the rent. Some people pay rent 3,000, 3,500 per month. Rent alone. We're not talking about lights and gas and food and travel and
Oh,
clothes.
don't even talk
Don't
about
talk about
food.
clothes. Don't talk about the. And I really want to talk. I know I got some questions here that I want to ask, but I want to switch up gear a little bit because there was a video that was circulating on Facebook, and you know when I saw that video about this young man talking about the foreigners when they come out, they look and how they dress and all these kind of negative things he was, talking about people who live overseas. And to me, I said to myself, I visit Diana, I would be as simple as because I don't want anybody to talk anything negative about me. But when you you want that break when you go home, when it is to go home, stretch your feet out. We got so many different weather patterns. We gotta make sure we got coats, boots, socks, scarf, hat, gloves. You gotta make sure you get all those things. They got two weathers to deal with only. Rain and sun. You get an umbrella, you get a long boots or a raincoat. That's it. So they should not, I don't want us to address
Listen,
that tonight. Let's talk about that.
Gigi,
The abuse is real on the foreigners.
I made a comment. I made a comment on that video, and I think my comment was one of the most liked comments. You know what I tell them? I said, listen, let me tell you something. See, when I
Okay.
come to Guyana, I don't come to Guyana for show off. I come to Guyana for relax and spend time with my family, which is what I just said. And he talk about we buy clothes from Shein. I said, me, if I see a nice dress on Shein and it's $3, I gonna buy me $3 dress, and I gonna wear me $3 dress because I don't care what I put on. I know I gonna look good in it. You understand? You go and you give Ralph Lauren and you give Gucci and you give Prada, and them rich people were done rich already. You money and make them more rich. I don't buy brand name clothes. I don't. People gift me brand name stuff. You know, people gift me stuff because when people look at me and my clothes that I wear, they tell themselves I pay so much money for my clothes. My clothes is cheap. But I just put on my clothes and I look good in my clothes. It don't matter how much you pay for it, it's how you wear it. You understand? Gigi can buy a $5,000 dress, and I can buy a $10 dress. And when I step out, people say, oh my God, you look so good. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? And she got on her $5,000 dress. But everybody complimented me $5 dress. It's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. I don't have time with brand names. I do not support the brand name fetish because I am not making nobody who is already rich richer. I am not doing that. So,
Can you just like elaborate on that video that was circulating, about, because I felt a kind of a way, and I asked the question, I said, why should this be, why y'all need to debate on this? Oh, the foreigners look good, the guys, girls look good. I don't care about that. Show me what you have other than that. Show me what you have other than looking good, your nails, your hair, your shoes. Show me other than that what you have. Can you elaborate on that? Because I don't know if you saw the video that was circulating about foreigners when they come, oh, this don't look good and all this kind of thing. Can you elaborate on that for me a bit, please?
Girl, I did look at the video, and like I said, ignorance is a different story. Now, listen to, I'm different than my sister on the other side, and I'm glad we are different, and I'll tell you why. Now, I'm a little talk show host, and you said it right. In America, we have different climates. We have it very cold. God damn it, we got to bundle up. We got to wear, and I don't like to wear too much clothes. We got to wear with jacket. We got to wear undershirt. We got to wear shirt. And I'll be very honest with you. When I go to Guyana, or even I'm traveling in the United States, right? Now, people don't know the kind of clothes I wear. I'm going to share a little bit anyway. But people don't have to, like the shirt I have on here. It's a nice, simple black shirt, but it's a Nordica shirt. And I love my brand name clothes. But guess what? I don't go to this. I go to Marshalls and TJ Maxx, and I get the same $60 clothes for $20, or a $60 sneakers, I pay $20. But let's go back to when I go to Guyana or I'm traveling to Florida, I put on a nice sweatpants, and nobody knows, but my sweatpants sometimes is $60 for one, right? And you can't tell the difference or the price, because mine, you would not be able to tell the name brand, because a lot of times it's hidden inside. You understand? I don't wear too much clothes. The only name brand I flunk is the Ken Rampersad show. That's what you're going to see. But otherwise to that, listen, because I tell myself, the way how people could flaunt their clothes, Nordica, I could go with the Ken Rampersad show. And you could say I'm showing up, that's fine. I could tell.
Gigi, I think that people get carried away with material things, and for me, there is more to life than material things. You understand? There is way more to life than material things. I like looking nice. I ain't gonna lie. I got more shoes than I can wear. I got more bags than I can use. I got more clothes than I can wear. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got the storage because I got too much clothes. For the most part, it's clothes in that storage. I got a lot of clothes. But what I don't do, and I have a lot of clothes because when sometimes I gotta go out, I may have new stuff in that storage, but I ain't able to go to the storage so I can buy something else to wear. And that way I end up with a whole lot of stuff. But like I say again, I am not the type that gonna go and spend no $500. Kill me dead if y'all ever find me in any $500 dress, kill me. Not me. No. I just put together my clothes very nicely. I might buy something. I might got an idea in my head
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
want this outfit to look. I buy it. I take it to my lovely designer dressmaker. And I tell her, I say, Karen, this is the image I'm looking for. This is what I want. Bam, 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 bam. And I break down what I want to Karen. Karen say, all right, buy this, buy this, buy this. And I can buy me things and I can carry it and everybody in and oohing and eyeing and whatever. And if you put the cost of the dress and everything and what pay Karen, if it come up to 200, it come up to a lot. And that is only on special occasions.
Yeah.
On an arm, if I go on Shein and I
Occasions.
see a nice outfit, I can buy my nice Shein outfit because it's my money. It's my money, my hard-earned
That's
money,
right.
and I
That's
like
right.
it. I like it. He
Exactly.
said in the chat call, he said when you use a parent and you go to the bank for your $2,000, if you rent the oxy, all you want, he said, I want to tell you, guys, not me on his landlord. Go to the bank for your 2,000. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like I
Yes,
can't be
yes,
bothered
yes.
with when I go home, when I travel a lot. I love to travel. And when I travel to enjoy my travel. It's not to impress nobody. A lot of times I travel, I don't even post pictures on Facebook. Gigi will tell you. I am always gone. Sometimes 2 weekends in every month I gone, you know. But I don't post nothing on social media because I ain't traveling for impress nobody. I'm traveling because I work hard. And there are many times when I'm sick to a point that I can't do anything, not even leave my house. You know, so when I am in good health, I enjoy it. So
Right.
woe be unto them that look at how I got on and tell themselves that I should be wearing Prada and I got on a Shein outfit. Yes, Shein is it's the people like me that don't like buying enough expensive things. A cheap, but very cheap. I've got respect for my
Oh
money
gosh.
because I know the sacrifices and the struggles that I go through for it. When it comes to giving, I give a lot. And
Oh.
my loved ones in Guyana are free. And I tell them all the time, call me, just give me notice. You want something from me, don't give me on the spot. I pay for my son to go to school out of pocket. Okay? I pay out of pocket for my son to go to school. So you have to give me notice. You want something from me, I'm willing to help you. Or if you see me wear something, you like it and you want it, hit me up. You wear a dress, I like it, I'll send it for you. And I ain't telling nobody, I send it for you. There's the one good thing about me. My job has taught me confidentiality, and I confident even in real life. You understand? I don't,
I like
and it's
that.
not one pumpy named dog according to Guyanese. So now because I wear the dress and you wear the dress is me dress. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always willing to help. Just give me notice. Give me advance notice and I'll
Gigi,
help.
Gigi, I want to say this though
Yeah.
to your audience.
Can you were saying, you're
Um,
saying to me, yeah.
yeah, I'm the kind of guy. Listen, I've reached to a stage where I don't care what anybody say. As long when I look in the mirror and I see me, I love who I see. That's all that matters. I don't care what anybody thinks what I wear or what I don't wear. As long my mother always taught me one thing. As long if you have one shirt and pants, as long it's clean, that's all that matters. That's how I grew up in Guyana, and I'm sure that you probably were brought up the same way too, right?
Sorry about that, guys. We were having. I was asking you a question about the video that the young man had on that was circulating on Facebook. You know, attacking foreigners, and I wanted to hear what you thought about that. You know, what was your explanation on that?
In my mind, when I heard what he was saying, like I said before, that he's just ignorant. He don't know any better. That when we go there, we just want to be ourselves. We want to be comfortable, and that's all that matters. Who cares what he feel? You know what I mean?
Right, right, exactly. So
We
I
don't go to
actually,
Ghana to dress
mhm,
up and you know what I mean? Dress up or dress
it's
down.
not about
We
exactly.
and the place is so hot over there too when you get there. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Absolutely. So it's
Hmm.
like it's you know, when you go home, you just wanna relax, enjoy. I haven't gone home in 13 years.
Oh, a long
Relax,
time.
enjoy the food, the fresh air, you know. And I remember when I was living in Guyana, my relatives would come to visit. I never looked for anything. I would give. I would say, listen to me, I got you. You come, I will make sure that you get everything that you need, cook, whatever you need. I don't want anything. But a lot of times when you gotta go there, you gotta buy your ticket. You got to
Right.
you gotta buy a ticket, you gotta pack your suitcase, you gotta get spending money, and you gotta plan years, years in ahead for you in order for you to get that vacation that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got it's not something easy. The conversation is going great. I know there's a friend of mine, um, Pramnanla, wants to come in on the conversation a bit. I sent him the link. I don't know if he's gonna come, but I sent him the link. I would love to hear what he has to say. Come in and have a chat with us. Because I know a lot of people, and I want to say I'm really grateful the person that instructed me to do this topic, because sometimes we may take things for granted, not knowing how important it is for us to have these kind of conversations, because it's the abuse to me, man. It's the abuse. But anyway, let me ask you another question. Looking back, is there anything you wish you had known before moving abroad, and that would have better prepared for you to be a reality? Looking back, is there anything you wish you had known before moving abroad that would have better prepared you for the reality? What are one thing?
Um, I didn't realize that if I had known, right,
Mm-hmm.
that 1 year that really mattered, that my mother passed away within such a short time. Within a year, I came to the States, she died. And so I really wish that I'd stay there 1 more year to see her passed away and to witness all of that. But otherwise, to that, Gigi, I got to be very honest with you that my mother, um, she nurtured me. I don't know if she had insight of what life was going to be like, but she have nurtured me to be the man I am today. I had known how to wash, to cook a little bit, to clean. So I had known everything. It wasn't a hard transition where that is concerned, And luckily for me that I was a nurse home, and I was able to, within 2 years, no, 3 years, I was able to write the state board exam and pass my exam. So, and I'm grateful. I think that most of the things in life is how we look at it. As long as you have a grateful heart, that's what really matters, to be honest with you, and you show gratitude. Another thing, that I was very blessed, and I'm still blessed, to meet so many wonderful people in my life who have always ready to stretch their hands and help me in this life. So I live a life of gratitude, to be honest with you, and to meet people like you too. You know.
Sorry about that. But before you go forward, I'm gonna go to Aegis, ask Aegis a question. But I wanted you to tell us in a synopsis a little bit about your show, the Ken Ramp that show. Tell us, tell us a little bit about that.
Gigi, one of the reasons I want to tell you, one of the reasons I started the Ken Ramprasad show is because, I was working, I spent many years working with the underserved, the poor, and Edris may understand what I'm talking about, and people who abuse drugs and alcohol and mental illness. And so I used to see so much abuse, drug abuse in our community, and I didn't think that in Guyana we were ready for these kind of things. And so I said, since I have so much knowledge, when I mean knowledge that I get to see on a daily basis, all these things that's happening, and our Guyanese, up to now, some of our Guyanese people don't understand what's going on in that world, where when it comes to mental health, mental illness, addiction. And so that's how I started tackle, I started to do my talk show. Also, when I would be giving medication to our patients, and I would see the American patients, they would tell me all the medication they're getting, and some of them even know the name, the dosage, the color, and how much medication they get when the day comes. And then when I meet some of my Guyanese patients, not to say anything, they don't know one thing that they're taking. They don't know none of the medications. So that's how I started with the Ken Rampersad show on Island Zone Radio. And from then I started, I'm a humanitarian. I started donate Pampers, wheelchairs, and used clothes, and a lot of things more in Guyana, because what I find in Guyana is that, or found in Guyana, is that if people get a stroke or they have an amputation, what they do is that they spend the rest of their life on a bed or in a room. And I want to change that narrative. I want we to get accustomed to like American style. Listen, if you're sick, it doesn't mean that you have to be bedridden all the days of your life. That you could get out of bed and sit in a chair. Your family could put you in a wheelchair, take you to the seawall, or run around, if you know what I mean. So I'm hearing a lot of noise. So that's one of my goals, actually, to send wheelchairs in Guyana so that people don't have to spend the rest of their life bedridden.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Once again, I know my friend Prem just joined the live quickly. I really want to hear from you because we're getting to wrap up now. We're gonna be wrapping up in another 7 to 8 minutes. But Prem, what's up? Tell us what join the conversation quickly in a synopsis. Tell us a little bit about your moving here to the US and what you would have experienced whilst coming from Guyana.
Gigi, good night, good night. Good night, everybody on the panel. I don't really know much about everybody on the panel. And I don't really know much about me as well. You can hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
we
Yes,
can,
we're hearing you.
All right. All right, cool. I'm driving home. So, yeah.
He's
Can
muted,
imagine,
Gigi. He's
see?
muted.
Imagine
He's
trying to
muted.
do, even get into a conversation. He's muted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
All right.
Unmute. Okay, good.
Yeah, I was saying I came here. I listened to both persons on the call and they were talking, how they came up. I was a little bit fortunate. My mom was here. I came with a green card. I came with 2 kids and my wife with a green card and no document. And then I got a son in America. So I had 3 kids and a wife with no document, and I was the only one who was working. I lived in Connecticut for a couple of mornings. I moved to New York because New York is where the money is. And I hung around there for like 4 years. Once I landed the present job I have, I came back to Connecticut and I bought my house. I presently work in New York, in Manhattan. I drive to New Haven, Connecticut every day. People don't believe that. I drive.
Yes, yes.
So I am driving home right
You've
now.
been doing that a very long time.
I've been in that job since like about 4 years now. I bought the house like 2 years ago. I moved back to Connecticut like about 2.5 years, and I've been doing a drive, for since then. And it's just normal. It become normal for me. But that's just one of the sacrifices I told people. I drive is like a distance from Georgetown to Linden, one side.
Wow.
It's
that's
76
a lot.
miles. 76 miles down the 95. And if you know the 95 in the evening, you don't want to be on the 95 here at 3 o'clock in the afternoons. You don't want to be on the 95. It's 3 hours, 3.5 hours with traffic.
Wow, wow, wow.
But
Well, I
my
can
company knows I
imagine.
live. Yeah, but my company knows. I went to them and said, hey, this is what's going on. If you're going to bring me to the day shift, you got to give me some overtime, and I'm going to chop that traffic out. And they started, work with me. I get some overtime. It works out. So anyway, let me move straight to the America thing. I'm going to tell you straight. I had a good job in Guyana. I moved to America because of my mom influence, siblings, having a better life for my kids, not me. I was already an adult when I came here. And
Mhm.
it was not easy coming back and start. I had cars in Guyana. I had my own house. I lived in my mom's home, but nobody was there. I had money in the bank. I used to live just like the present Guyanese who were living, working every weekend, jumping this bar, the party, this, that, the whole life. But I was making money. But I can tell you what America did to me. I came here at 36. I didn't know anything about savings. I didn't know anything about retirement fund. I didn't know anything about 401k. I didn't know anything about putting up money. I didn't know nothing about a union. I didn't know nothing about representation of employees and workers' rights and OSHA and all these safety rules and everything that Guyanese are violating on a daily basis. When I came to America, it opened my eyes in a different aspect of life. That I could go back. I went back there like a couple months ago after 6 years, and I explained to people, I said, the way how I see you guys working, Guyana, you guys are not gonna work, and you guys will not live long with the certain things that do. And I could tell you the retirement part, the 401k part, putting up money for the future use. I didn't know anything about that. I put up a little bit of money, but guess what? I'm just living in the moment. And I saw that with a lot of Guyanese who came to America. They're in their 50s, they're in their late 40s, and guess what? They are now coming to restart. They come to America, they live the same lifestyle, and when they realize, yo, I'm 60, now they want to start the process I'm doing right now. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. You cannot do it. So that's my little take.
So true.
But like, I got a different drive, right? I came, I did everything what I did in 9 years. People don't believe you're there 9 years. You got your house. My wife, well, I got my citizenship. She started out with her documents. My eldest is in college. She wants to go to finish up at Yale. She's doing her bachelor's right now, and that's one thing. Moving back to New York.
Yes.
Gonna come back to Connecticut. It really worked for me because the colleges out here and the schools out here are really, really great. I'll say one thing too.
Yes.
People who are on the call. There are a lot of Guyanese who come to America, have a good opportunity, and they blew it. They come here and they want to live the same lifestyle they have in Guyana.
Mhm.
You can't. You cannot do that.
True.
You cannot do that. And some of them come here and they squander the opportunities. You hear sometimes people talk about, oh, they in America, they got to work 4 jobs to survive. Yo, you brought it here for 9 years and it's one job I do. I never had to do 2 jobs. Never.
Right.
With 3 kids and a wife with no documents, I was paying $2,000 rent in Queens and $24 rent and 2 car notes and all our insurance and all the other stuff that the bills everybody else pay. I never had to do 2 jobs.
Yeah,
if you come
so the
here,
right and
do the right thing,
insurance and everything.
I'm saying if you come to this country and you do the right thing and you make the sacrifices and what should I say? You gotta be consistent and you stay on top of your game, you make it. And then once your kids get it out and you decide you got a game plan, you want to go back after a while. I mean, for me, I got my game plan. Once my kids get into college and they get their degrees and whatever it is, I think my job is done. I could give them the house I have here and I could say it's time for me to go back to Guyana. And meanwhile, I'm working and building a property. I couldn't be in Guyana and send back a $5,000 every month and say, I'll start on your roof for you. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with even the money I was making in Guyana. I able to build a $20 million house out of my pocket from America without owning the bank.
Right. But
So,
I
like,
really want to ask. Go ahead quickly.
I'm saying, like, everybody aspect and everybody thoughts on how they see America and how we do it in America is based on just hearsay. A lot of them never really came here. Some of them came, they saw, they ran. They's like, they can't do this, they can't do it. But guess what? A lot of them who are saying never came here.
True. That is true.
Driving in a snowstorm and an emergency team at my job, and my job got me a call. I got to drive from New Haven to Manhattan in a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in with.
But I really want to ask you this quick question before we go, and this is going to go to everybody. Then we're going to close on this question. If you had the opportunity to start your journey all over again, knowing everything you know, how would you still choose to move? Would you still choose to move abroad, and why? And then we're going to close on that.
I would. If I had an opportunity to start all over again with my present knowledge, I would do it. Because I learned one thing when I came to America. People were so stingy, they were hiding knowledge from you. Knowledge. People would tell you like how to get a driver's license, how to go about how to get a first-time mortgage for your home, how to get this assistance from the government. People knew, and people imagine. I'm saying one thing, right? If people could hide knowledge from you, they could basically hide anything from you. And that's the kind of little situation I face. People hide knowledge from me. Simple things that I could have just get on Google and research and start finding out. But once I figure it out, it was game over.
Right,
So if
right,
I had an opportunity to restart, I will restart with my present knowledge. Trust me, I will be 10 times ahead of them. Those same people and even people who are here, because my learning curve is different, my drive is different. I get up and I do it every day. So that's what I would
Thank you so
actually
much.
do.
Thank you so much, Ram. I want to go to Idris and then I'm going to go to Ken with that. Would you guys, with all that you've gone through with your challenges, would you still want to, if you have the opportunity to move here again in the second life, let's say in another life, would you still do that? And why?
I would do it. I would do it again because the benefits that I got here is way more than I would have gotten in Guyana. And then if I had to do a second life, I would pray God that I don't come with this chronic illness. But if I did come back with the same chronic illness, for those reasons, I would move here because the treatment that I get here is way, 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 way above Guyana.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I always say maybe if I had stayed in Guyana, I would be alive today, given all the episodes that I've had and all the near death experiences and everything. I probably would not have been alive today had I still been in Guyana. But I want to say big up to the Grosvenor family, big up to the Grosvenor generation. When I tell you, a family that hold you down is my family. You hear what I'm telling you? A family that hold you down is my family. So I want to big up my siblings, my mother, my cousins. We as a family, we hold each other down. For real, we got a family group. Aside from the one that I have with my siblings, we got a family group, and there's the most hilarious group. When you really want to laugh, you really want to skate, you want to relax, you jump in the family group, and you're going to die with laughter. And then if anything happens, you go in there, you tell them everybody got a bit of advice. If you run into a situation, everybody can send you $20. This is how our family lives. So I want to big up my family. A lot of people don't have that, but I'm thankful for the family that I was born into because we hold each other down. You understand? I got cousins that I could pick up my phone and say, hey, I ain't got money to pay my phone now. I'm gonna change my phone bill. Who you there with? And bam, my phone bill pay. You hear? So I wanna thank God for the family that I was born into. And like I said, most of them are right here. So we hold each other down, man. My cousin Jomo, my major talk name partner is Jomo. Number one talking part. We boss everybody, name down, everything down. But the love is real in my family. Real. My siblings, the same thing. And I got some real good friends too that I can always count on, Gigi and Chrissy and Maxine, and real friends that if I tell Maxine, and she live in New York, if I say Maxine, you me got nothing for cook, Maxine ain't got money. For send me some money, she can drive from New York up to groceries. Yeah. So I am grateful. I am very, very grateful. I am thankful. America has been kind to me. I have been fortunate. America has been kind to me. There is one individual, of course, I won't be able to call that person in, but that person held me down like cement in this America. Held me down, bought me a car, paid my bills. I went to school without having to work, got my degrees. And when I finished getting my degrees, that's when I went and worked. Went to school for like roughly 8 years. Never worked and not everything done. So I thank God America was good for me.
Thank you so much, Idris. Ken, would you still do that again?
Yeah. Let me put it in this perspective. But first, I want to say when you come to America with a family that works together, build together, it's a great thing. You can do better than you stay by, you come by yourself. And if you have supportive family within a short time, you can get like a springboard and gone very fast. Rather than you come like me with no family really in New York, you got to work hard for what you want. But let's go back to the question you asked. Gigi, I am so glad that I was born in Guyana because I get a chance to see. I grow about love. I know what love is. I know what is want. I know what's empathy. I know of all these wonderful things. And so when I came to America, it was like a culture shock for truth. I would have loved to born in Guyana and come back to the United States to live. That's how I look at it, because the kind of opportunity that I got in America, I would have never get it in Guyana, if you get my drift. So yes, I would love to come back to start it just how it started. Born in Guyana and then migrated to the United States. Make me a
Absolutely.
great individual.
Thank you so much, Ken, my brother. I want to say thank you so much for
You're
joining me. But
welcome.
I want to hear from before we go. Let me know. Would you have done the same thing too if you had that opportunity in your second life? Pramnan.
I would definitely, yeah, I could hear you. Yeah, I would definitely do it. I would do it, but I wish I could do it at an earlier age where I could come here with an opportunity with the education part of it, because my learning curve, I did went back to school. I got a degree over here. I got a license to drive trains, the freight trains. But I
Mm,
never, yeah, I went to school in Washington. I did 6 months, and I didn't really went to the field because it was taking too much of life away from me. But I would do it, but I would do it at a younger age. I would come here as a child, definitely as a
absolutely.
child, so I could grab more,
Okay.
because there's so much here. There's
Right.
so much opportunities and to make life out here. You come here younger and you gotta drive for it. It's gonna happen and happen fast.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow. Thank you so much. Listen, guys, listen. I want to say a big thank you for joining in this conversation this afternoon. And as I said before, it's a needed conversation. I had a lot more questions that I wanted to ask, but it was a fulfilled session. I know that a lot of persons would have poured their heart. So because we have a lot of people in the audience who has questions, who has burdens, who have things that are there that they have never said to people that they've went through. And as I said, these conversations are needed. Definitely, we'll be doing some more of this every week, so that we can able to hear. We in the diaspora need to start speaking up a little bit more, especially to in Guyana, especially know what we face here in the US. Some persons will come and visit, but when they come to visit, they see us like, oh my God, I now understand, but not everybody would understand. So, but once again, I want to say a big thank you for all those who logged in with us on the Facebook page. I'm seeing Sister Sylvia, my cousin Nikki, hey Nick, Yolan, Jackie, my friend Jackie, GT the boss, guys. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in this conversation. And once again, join us next Tuesday for the next episode of the Gigi Show. But then we're going to be doing this special episode every week also, so that we can able to do a catch up on what's going on here in the diaspora. Not only what goes on in Guyana, but what goes on here, and give persons an understanding of what we deal with also. All right. So guys, once again, I want to say thank you for joining me. Do join us again on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the Gigi Show. And next week, we'll be coming with a different topic as a pop-up. Thank you guys once again. Be blessed and good night.
Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
Them say we living foreign, life sweet every day. But them ain't see the long nights when we working far away. Missing birthdays and holidays, missing family time. Counting every dollar, hard sending home every dime. Them see the pictures and the smiles that we post online. But them don't see the struggles hidden way behind. Holding on to faith when the road get rough and steep. Sacrificing plenty while the whole world asleep. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice. Long days, cold nights just to make things right. Them see the smile on we face, but them don't know the ache. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice we make. Oh, far from home, still we carry the weight. Oh, every blessing come a little too late. Them see the life we build, but not the chances we take. They say we live abroad, but them don't know the sacrifice we make. Them say we got it easy, living in a better place. But them ain't feel the pressure that we face from day to day. 2 jobs, little sleep, just to keep the dream alive. pushing through the hardships, always trying to survive. Every suitcase got a story.